is make hot apple puff pastry turnovers. I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna have. These are your puff pastry sheets. You can buy them in the freezer section of your grocery store. You just need one package of those, and you take them out and let them defrost for at least about 30 minutes. And there's two sections in there, and they're tri-folded, so you're gonna need to let them defrost. And do not try to undo them without the defrosting. And they've got the directions on the package on what's best to do. But I let them sit out for at least 30 minutes and then I unfold them. I have 3 pounds of Granny Smith apples, which I have cut up, and I have put 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and then I just tossed them in the lemon juice. This keeps them from getting brown because vitamin C, ascorbic acid, is in the lemon juice, and that's what keeps it from turning brown. Okay, so we've done that. Here we have 1/3 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of regular sugar with 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I'm going to mix that up and whisk that together. I just left it separate before whisking just to show you. I just added it to the sugar, and what that's going to do is kind of gel this together to make a homemade apple pie filling. We're going to start off with 1/4 cup of butter in the pan, and I'm going to melt that. Then I'm going to stew my apples and cook them down with the lid on. I've already got the lid ready. And I'm going to put these directions in the description. Click the down arrow underneath this little section. And this is going to be a quickie. I'm going to come back when I have stewed the apples and I'm getting ready to put these together to show you what to do, okay? So we have gathered our ingredients. We're going to cook our apples. And next step, we'll put these pastries in to good use so they can get in our belly shortly. And this is going to be a baking type thing, not a fried, okay? See you in a little bit. To about medium low, and put the top back on it, and you just want this to simmer. See how the liquid is there? And when you pull it, the liquid goes right back to the side. Next time we come, I'm going to show you we don't have any liquid. It's gelling, but this is not there yet. So turn it down to medium low, put the lid on it, and let it stew. This is going to soften and cook the apples, okay? And here we have our apples. And do you see how it's pulling from the side now and staying together? This is just right. So, and the apples are soft now, and I'm just going to kind of chop them up a little bit, not all the way. I don't want to mush. The larger pieces I'm just kind of chopping up. One thing I neglected to say a while ago, I've added 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 1/4 of allspice, and just a dash of cloves. So that went in along with the sugars, the cornstarch, and the butter and the apples. And so I'm going to cut this off now and just let it cool because this is a little bit too hot to handle. Okay? We'll see you in a minute. Oven on 425, convection bake, and that reduces it to 400. So if you have an air fryer, set it to 400. But if you have a convection feature in your oven, set it to 425 and hopefully, or 400, whatever will keep it landed on 400. These pastry sheets are tri-folded. When you unfold them like this, they've got a lot of flour on them. I'm going to show you what I've done with this one. I'm going to put this one to the side. We'll use it in a little bit. I folded it out and I just kind of spread the flour around. And then I take a rolling pin and I just kind of stretch it out and make it just a little bit thinner. Okay? And when I've got it like that, what I'm going to do is to cut it into 4 squares, okay? We'll cut it. It's 1, and this does not have to be perfect. And it kind of separates like that. But you're going to take each one of them and put it over to the side. Okay, so I have my square of puff pastry that I've cut, and I am going to go over the edges with just water. That's all it is, water. And what that's going to do is allow me to close it and pinch it with a fork And that's going to be an apple turnover. Look how hard this is. You brush it with water. I'm going to fill it with about, let's see. This is the key part. You do not want to overstuff these, okay? So, it's about 1.5 tablespoons because not all of it came out. So, no more than 2.5 tablespoons of pie filling, okay? And that doesn't look like a lot. After you close it up, it's gonna be. So I want to fix those edges together, okay? And I'm just pressing them. Now I'm gonna go back with my fork. And I go this way. You see where it's trying to escape right there? And I go that way. Then I go sideways. Okay? And that's done. I'm just going to move this to a parchment paper lined cookie sheet, okay? And I'm going to do the rest of them just like I did that one. And it's going to go in a 425-degree oven next. And I'll tell you how long I baked them in just a minute. Now we have, see how beautiful and puffy everything is? And actually, I baked these on the convection oven for about 14 minutes, but check them at 12. But if you have some that has a little bust through like this, as they cool, this filling is going to harden back up a little bit. Just take the edge of your spatula and push it back in like that. But they're fine. They're perfectly fine. That's going to happen sometimes. But one thing I did before I put them in the oven, I took the pastry brush with water and went back over and then took some sanding sugar and just sprinkled on top. That is totally optional. It just makes it really pretty. If you happen to have some from your leftover holiday baking, making molasses cookies or something. So now the finishing touch for this delicious apple turnover made with puff pastry and homemade apple pie filling is a little bit of icing. And all this is powdered sugar, a tablespoon of vegetable oil, and 2 tablespoons of milk. And we're just going to drizzle it over, okay? And you can serve this with some ice cream or just by itself. It's totally up to you. But isn't that gorgeous? And you can do the same thing making your canned pie filling. You can use canned and doctor it up if you want to. I just like to make my own homemade. It's just quick, it's easy, and it's oh so much better. And I know I can control what goes in it. So all these are awesome, and we're going to serve these with some pulled pork for lunch today. Pulled pork and slaw, and I'm not making that today, showing y'all on here, but it's been on the pellet grill. But enjoy these apple turnovers, and this is fun. The kids can do this part, you know, and make any kind of design that they want. But anyway, that's it. Y'all take care. I hope you've enjoyed this little quickie on Saturday morning. Take care.